This is Veena, Assistant Professor in the Department of English, Institute of Aeronautical Engineering. Today, we are going to learn about the process of email writing. That is, I will try to make you understand the rules, that is, the formal and the informal way of writing emails. Maybe you all feel it's very easy, but there are certain format, certain instructions which you have to follow while emailing. Those are the very, very important etiquettes which you all have to follow while emailing emailing letters to your authorities or the officials or anyone on the professional platform. So it may look easy, but you have to try to inculcate all those proper etiquettes such that when you address an email to a person through the net process, it looks appealing and also very, very pleasing to take your or receive your mail by the other person. So let us get started. Here, what is your email? As the word email itself renders, it is electronic mail. The mail which is sent through the media of net. So that is what is your email. Before, as traditional method, we used to write the letters manually and post them in the envelopes through the media of post office services. But now we don't need to have or do such long process. We can just within a minute or two mail a letter to the people whom you want to address some information or the message. So email is nothing but an electronic mail which you send through the process of the net. Now let us see what is email in detail and also what are the main characteristics or the instructions which you all have to remember while formulating an email. We will look into this video such that you will understand the main criteria for writing the emails. Now, what is an email? A method of exchanging messages instantly. Instantly is within a minute. Just within a span of 2 or 3 seconds, you can just click the button send and the message is sent to the person. Instantly, within a minute or two, you can send a message to the person whom you want to send it. From one system to another with the help of the internet is called an email. We are using the medium of internet to send the email within 1 or 2 minutes or fractions of seconds. So, such that your message is sent to the person instantly within no time and your problems will be addressed or solved as soon as possible. So, this has been very, very easy today because in the factors, through the factor of communication, if you want to make your communication more better and effective and always consistent and develop your relations with other authorities on the professional platform, it may not be easy to meet them person to person very frequently. So, you can mail them. Maybe you're working in the same office, but within a fraction of a second, you want to send a mail. You have to send a message to a person. Through mail, you can do it. So, emails are the most important requirements which are fetching the needs of the professional entities. So, you have to master over sending the emails that which create an image of uniqueness among your fellow professionals. Now, initially, email usage was limited to users of the same computer. Those who have the access of using the computer or those who have the knowledge to use computer used to mail. But these days, it has become very, very common. Any person who just know how to operate a system who can create a mail ID and send their messages. So, it has been a very, very easy process now to send a message through email. The mail can be sent to more than one recipient. That is, you can send to more than one person. If you're sending a message, if you're posting a letter, you'll be sending it to one person. But when you're sending a mail, your recipient can be one or more. or many. So you have that access, you have that advantage of sending a message to many people. So that will fetch the need, and also it will help you in saving your time. If you want to pass a circular, or if you want to pass an order, or if you want to formulate any kind of idea among your team members, just through a message you can send it to all the team members. The same, just add their email IDs and send it. Within a fraction of seconds, your need will be fulfilled. So that is the most important aspect. These days all professionals are looking into etiquettes, professional etiquettes. Even your emails also part of the etiquettes, where you serve the needs of the professional entities with all the requirements, with all the abilities, with all the formalities, and following the rules and regulations to cater the needs of your professional growth. Therefore, emails plays vital roles when you are on the professional platform. So try to learn and practice sending mails with proper structure and format, which are formulated to send them email. So let us see what are those. How to write an email. What are the major characteristics which will fetch the need of writing an email? Now, below are the steps to take to write an email right way. See, I have seen many people without a subject, or without a proper salutation, without proper sentence formation in the body of the letter, or without any final conclusion or proper signature, they send the mails abruptly. They feel that we are in the same office, the message will be sent. That's all. Why to, if I'm attaching a file to the mail, that will render the need of the other person. Why should I write something in that mail? These days it is like we will just write the subject and attach the mail and send. We don't address the person. No, don't ever do that. Whatever attachment you are sending, on whatever criteria you are sending, try to explain it in at least 1 or 2 lines. Especially when you are sending an formal mail to an official, to an authoritative person, to your superior or to your fellow colleagues, whoever it may be. Try to address them within 2 lines. Don't just leave that place like that empty and just attach any file to it and send it to them. You must address them properly with proper salutation and with proper conclusion of what you are sending and what is attached to that mail. So, try to follow or send the mail in a right way, especially when you are in the workspace. Try to salute the person, try to address the person, try to make a note of giving conclusion to the message what you have given, and explain them of what the attachments you have made to that particular mail. So, be careful enough while sending the emails. They will portray your personality, your attitude towards other persons. So, try to understand the relevance of making the habit of writing emails with proper format, especially when you are in the workplace. Now, let us see what is the right way, how you are going to write an email. Consider your audience. The very first point. Just try to understand whom you're going to address that email. Are you going to address to your authoritative person, or a superior, or your fellow colleagues or your friends? Just try to understand the audience. Try to understand their mindset. How is that message rendered to that particular person? How will he take? And one more major mistake we all tend to do is, we just don't review or recheck the sentence formation or the letter, what we have formulated there. We just send it within a click. But it is very important to recheck the words, the sentences, before you send an email. See that we all got habituated to this WhatsApp language, which is not at all complete. We just have some short forms. You cannot use that kind of language in your emails. try to expand, try to write the complete word, try to explain in a very formal way when it comes to the formal emails. Even for the informal emails, you have to write complete sentences. Don't tend to make short words as you type in your WhatsApp conversations. Never do that. That is the very, very wrong instruction or wrong thing which you all are following, which you all have to learn to avoid, and try to make simple sentences which are complete and which will cater the need of your necessity of sending that email. Now, consider your audience, understand your audience, whom you are going to address that email. If he is your principal, if he is your superior, if he is your other team member, anyone. Try to understand the way how they receive and try to have a overlook of his views or his reference while reading your email. Then create a subject. First thing, you'll have the column of subject. As soon as you add an email ID, you'll have subject. You have to try to formulate a simple statement of the subject of the main idea for which you are going to write that email. That is, you will formulate a line, a simple sentence which will create an idea of what element or what information you are going to provide to that particular person through that email. Then, issue a standard greeting. Standard greeting is the standard salutation. If it is informal, dear Raju, Ravi, dear friend, dear mother, dear father. Okay. Then if it is formal, respected or sir. Try to very, very formally salute the person when you formulate the email. Don't forget to do this thing. Do the greeting, because it is very important. You cannot think that I am in the same workplace, I should just send a message and I am in a hurry. I will just type the subject and just create that file attachment and send it to that person without a subject or without any content or a greeting or a introduction or an explanation of what you are sending. No. This creates really a very bad impression on the others, especially when you are in the workplaces. One may receive, but the other person will not receive it. They will not like the way you are sending the emails. That creates a negative impact, a negative impression of you on the others. So, try to start with a proper standardized greeting or the proper salutation. Next, be clear and avoid redundancy. Be clear and specific. Use simple formal language. I repeat, be clear and specific and use formal and simple language. Don't create any clumsiness or don't create any long paragraphs of long description of the elements. No. Try to be specific of the information what you're going to render to the other person. Be specific, be formal and be simple. That is the major those are the major characteristics which we have to learn while formulating an email. Next, be brief but warm. That is, you must be precising your content, but you will be having that warmth in that sentences. Have the touch of the warmth in that sentences such that the person who is reading is able to understand the notion or the idea behind you sending that email. So, though it is brief, it is assertive, it is specific. Try to make or form your emails in that perspective. Next, close simply. Just have a close note. Simple closing note. I expect you to revert the same to me, or I will look forward for your reply. Something which is simple. Have a concluding note for your email. So, these are all the very, very important aspects which you all have to remember while formulating your emails. Maybe many of you are all thinking it's too easy, but as you think it is easy, but you have to formulate follow all the rules and regulations which are very, very necessary in writing your emails. That will surely make your communication better. Not only make your communication better, but also places you in a unique position among all others. So, try to inculcate the habit of writing emails with proper structure and format, with proper salutations, body, conclusion, and the signature. Now, emails are of three types. Generally, we have three types of emails. Now, let us see what are they. Semi-formal, formal, and informal. We have semi-formal, formal, and informal. Let us try to understand them in detail. Now, emails. Informal. Now, informal, whom are we going to represent? To our friends, relatives, family members. So, these three people we are going to address informal emails. Maybe we are going to talk more, we will explain more. Maybe our language is more simpler and may not be formal in rendering your message or the information what you are going to convey it to your friends or the family members. When it comes to semi-formal, we send it to teammates, classmates and colleagues. Those are of our on the same platform, same level, matching to us. Maybe they are our friends, our colleagues or our teammates. That is what I am trying to focus, that when you are sending a mail to your teammate too, it is semi-formal. Don't be completely informal. Try to be at least semi-formal. Try to address them about the entity or the information properly in simple sentences. Try to have proper salutation. Try to end up with proper signature. That is semi-formal. Then comes formal. We send it to all professional communication. All professional workspace comes under the formal sending of emails. So, you cannot send a semi-formal or informal to the authorities, higher officials. When you are going to send an email to them, try to be specific, try to follow all the rules and regulations which are very, very important to cater the needs of the email writing. So, be specific, be simple and try to follow the rules, the salutation as it is mentioned. Now, let us try to understand them in detail. What is semi-formal email? An email written for a colleague or a teammate within a project comes under this category. As we discussed, it is the mail which we write to our colleagues or the team members who are at the same level, who are our friends. Then, the language used is simple, friendly and casual. What kind of language we are going to use? Simple, friendly and casual. Modesty and dignity must be maintained. Of course, they are friendly to you, your colleagues. But the modesty, the thing which is formal must be maintained. You must be able to address them in a simple and formal way, being very clear about the things what you're going to tell them. You cannot just take them as granted and talk as if you're talking to a relative or a family member. Though you are going to email them on a friendly note, try to be specific and formal in some rendering some information. Next, informal emails. What are informal emails? An informal email is written to any relatives, family or friends. There are no particular rules for informal email writing. Here we generally don't follow any kind of rules. We are just trying to put forward the information or share our experiences or congratulate our friends. Anything that which does not have any rules. But try to also use the proper structure of that email. That is the proper subject you are writing and the salutation, the body of the letter, the regards and the signature. These are the common things which you all have to maintain while writing formal or the informal way of emails. Next, Formal emails. This is the most important thing which you all have to learn and also to practice, because to make yourself look unique, to make your communication more effective, to make you fetch the needs of your professional entities, your email writing must be at peaks. That is, you must master this email writings such that you can please the other person in catering the needs of your professional entities. Now, suppose we are writing or composing an email for any type of business communication. So, for any type of business communication, you are going to use formal emails. It can be any type of business communication. It can also be any type of organization which is completely formal. Next, it will come under the category of formal email. Formal email writing will be an email written to companies, government departments, school authorities, or any other offices. So, all these workplaces come under the formal category. So, you are going to address them formally and send them emails which are completely structured in a formal way, using the simple language, proper salutation, proper body, introduction and the conclusion, and the signature by the end of the email. So, always try to learn the etiquettes of the email writing, which are very, very important and which will surely serve you the needs of your professional platform workspace. So, whenever you are in workspace, try to adapt the nature of inculcating the and formulating the emails in a very formal and a structured manner. Now, what is a template? Here is a template for an informal email. Let me explain you that clearly. If you are writing an informal email, this is the template which you all have to follow. What is that? Subject, enter and taking subject. That is, for any kind of email, subject is must. So, you can frame a simple sentence which will give the information or the idea of why you are writing that email to your receiver. So, that is the way you are going to compose your subject. Frame it in a simple sentence such that they get the clear idea of what you are going to talk in that particular email. Next, enter casual greeting. Enter name of the addressee here. So, you will be entering the casual greeting. That means, dear Raju, dear Sita, whoever it may be, the name will be mentioned. Next, include a body that is brief and thoughtful. As in the letters, the physical letters, what we write and post, you cannot write so many pages or paragraphs. Though it is informal, though it is an informal email, try to restrict yourself at least to 3 to 4 paragraphs. Enough. Try to be specific in delivering your message. Try to include all those main points which you want to convey to the others. You don't need to describe each event. Try to specifically mention what are the elements which you are going to convey them. Though it is an informal way, though you are writing it to your friend, try to be very formal in writing or specifying the need, the necessity or the purpose of writing your email. Next, include a casual sign-off. Very casual, can I yours friendly or just regards. Regards is enough for anyone. Then your name. So, even if it is an informal email, you have to follow this this kind of template to cater the need of that email writing. Now, template for formal email. Now, how is that you are going to compose a formal email? Let us see. If you are writing an email in a more formal setting, this may be a better template for you. Always remember this template. This will be very useful to you when you are in the workspace. Try to follow this template while you are sending an email to the higher authorities or to your teammates or your colleagues. This is the best way you can convey your message through the emails. Now let us see what is that. Subject. Enter practical subject. Now, subject also, when you are formulating a subject in the workspace through your email, try to specify that practical subject, that practical element for which you are going to write the email. Convey them that practical subject, the main idea of your need to write to them. If you are mentioning it in the subject, if you are sending it to an higher authority, if you do not have any time to read the entire letter, he can through the subject decide whether it is an important mail or not important mail. So, give that opportunity to the receiver that whatever you are sending, the information, the message, any kind of idea or any kind of complaint, try to be very specific. Try to project a practical subject which is in action, which is in need, such that it grasps the attention of that authority or the superior, and he tends to read your letter and notices it, because they get many mails, maybe hundreds of mails. Then why will he read your mail? So see that your subject contains that practical element which will make the reader attracts that subject and tends to read your email. So this is the first and the foremost important element which you all have to remember. Then enter formal greeting. Sir, respected sir is also okay. Sir, madam, anything, but it must be formal. Don't address with their name. That is very wrong. Just say sir or madam, whoever it may be. So address them formally. Enter name of the addressee here. Again, you will be entering the name of after sir. You will be addressing the name. Next, include a body that is clear and to the point. Here, you will be very formal and specific and will talk point to point. You will not exaggerate. You will not describe. You are not narrate a story there. You will be very specific enough to make a clear view of what you are going to tell them in that particular email. So, try to be specific, formal, and see that it is very brief. Don't take lengthy, long paragraphs to render your message. Then, include a formal sign-off and your name. So, regards will go with anything. So, try to use this template whenever you write an email in your workspace. Try to be specific and clear and generate that interest through the subject such that the authority, the supervisor or any kind of person try to read your email and understand the concern what you have made in that particular email. Now, what are the advantages of email writing? Now we understood what is the format, what is the style, how is that you are going to write your emails. Now what is the advantage? We can even write and post, isn't it? We have letters before emails also. They served the needs. It's not that professional needs were not served. But still, now emails are playing vital role. Why? What are the advantages of this email writing? Let us try to understand now. It is cheaper form of communication, isn't it? Paper is saved, pen is saved, ink is saved, isn't it? It is cheaper means clear form of communication. It does not take much money or your time. So, it is the cheaper form of communication which will cater your needs instantly. So then, emails help to contact or send information to a large group of the people. At one send click, you can send the message to 10 or 20 or many number of people. Larger group, you can send one email through one click of send button. Then it provides a written record of the communication. So you will also have a proof, or you will also have an evidence of your writing. That is, you will have a copy with you that on so and so date to so and so person, I have sent a mail regarding this particular information. So it also helps you in having the evidence of the work or the element which you have performed or the duty which you have performed. The other person cannot say no now. We have a written document, written proof of our email that we have sent them the information of what is needed. So this is one of the biggest advantage we have through the emails. Then the email writing is an instantaneous form of communication. That means within fraction of seconds, frame a message and send it to the other person. You do not need to wait or wait for 2 or 3 days or to find a reply for what you have sent a message. So instantly you will send a message and also instantly you can receive the message from the other person. Then it can be used anytime and anywhere. Until unless you have internet, you can use it anytime, anywhere, any place, isn't it? Only the important thing what is needed is you should have proper net connection. That's all. So anywhere, anytime you can use it and serve the needs of your important information to render it to the other person. Now, what are the disadvantages? We had advantages. We understand that it is time saving, cost saving, and also used as evidential proofs, isn't it? Now, what are the disadvantages? We need to have the internet to receive or send mails. So, until unless you don't have proper net connection, you cannot send your email. If you are sending an email and there is no internet connection to the other person whom you are sending email, that person will also not receive the mail. So, you, the sender and the receiver, both of them must and should have an email ID plus internet connection to receive or to send the emails. Then, viruses are easily spread via email attachments. This is one of the important disadvantage we have. Virus can be spread. That is the technical aspect which we all have to be very cautious enough to dealing with. Next, one can get many junk mails that which are not important, that which are spam. We can get them, so we cannot avoid them. This is also one of the disadvantage. Then, there is no guarantee if the reader reads the email or not. How will you know that whether the person whom you have sent the mail has read your email or not? How will you know? Until unless he don't reply to you, you will not know it. Next, the details can be used for identity theft. Maybe sometimes it can be misused in the form of identity theft. So these are some of the disadvantages of email writing which you all have to be very cautious, especially when you are working in the professional platforms. There are instances where such things may happen. Someone steal your identity. On your name, somebody will be mailing the other person, asking them for some other information. So you have to be very cautious enough and you have to be very, very cautious to understand and to use these mails effectively to render your purpose. Now, what are the features of email? What are the characteristics? What are the features of an email writing? There are many features of email. Some of them are automatic reply to messages. We have this feature, isn't it? When we send a message down, there are some automatic thank you, thanks a lot, Those are automatically generated. You don't need to type. If you just click on that, if you received a message and if you want to thank that person, that buttons are already there. They are automatically generated. So you can use that those buttons to serve your need. Next, the address can be stored in to an address book. So if you are sending a mail to one person at a time, that address will be saved in the address book. So next time when you send the same other message to that person, the address is automatically appearing when you are trying to type the address. So this is also one of the advantage. Next, the address can be used in the near future. So as all the addresses are saved, maybe near future, if you want someone's address, it can be found. Then automatic filing and retrieving of messages. You will have automatic filing and also retrieving messages which you have sent through the emails. They can be used as the evidences. They can be used as the documents which are the proofs of your work. So you can use them in such way. So these are all the advantages. These are all the features of an email which helps you in making your workspace more better through communication. Then notification of delivery or not of a message. You will know whether your message is delivered or not. Notification will be sent to you. If you are sending a wrong email address also, it will give you a record that address not found. So all these things are automatically generated, which will help you in understand whether your email sent to the person or not. Next, facility to send copies of a message to many people. As we have already spoke about it, within a one click, you can generate message to many number of people who are around you. Next, signatures can be attached. Before only you can attach your signature so that whenever you send a mail, it is automatically generated. You don't need to add your signature every time when you send an email. You can automatically generate your signature. Whenever you send an email, it is generated automatically. You don't need to type it once again. Next, automatic using the date and time. Attachment in the form of files, graphics or sound can be sent. Not only a message or information, you can also attach files of PDF, of videos, of any kind of sounds. It can be done through the emails. Then mobile friendly emails facility. Even now you are using through your mobiles. You are sending mails through your mobiles. So it has become user friendly. Anytime, anywhere, any place you can send mails to the other person or the people whom you are going to send it. Then auto forward of messages. You do not only receive the messages, you can forward the same message to the other person who also need it. So you have all these kind of advantages with your emails. Then effective emails. How can your email can be effective? What are the characteristics which serve the needs of the emails such that they look more effective and more appealing? Now let us see that. Email writing is a form of expressing our ideas or queries. It is expressing your ideas or any kind of complaints, queries, concerns as same in the letter. It is the helpful only if we write an email in clear and unambiguous way. That is, it is helpful only when you mention the clear idea of what you are thinking. Don't make it clumsy. Don't use the language which is not known to the other person. Try to be simpler. Try to be very clear when you are giving the information to the other people. Effective email writing has the property of clarity of statement. Have clarity over the statements which you are sending to the other person. Have awareness of the element which you are going to send as a message. That makes your email effective. Next, email writing can be successful if you follow the following rules. What are that? greetings, introduction, giving context or information, call for action. So first you will start with the greeting, then you will give the introduction of what you are going to explain or convey or tell them the concern. Then giving context or information, telling them for what purpose, for what instance, why, what is the need that you are going to give this information or trying to clear your concern or misunderstanding with any other such person. Then call for action, ask for a reply, look forward for a reply. Finally, you will conclude with call for action. From the opposite side, what kind of action you are expecting is important. So these features make your email look effective. Next, there are some ways in which you can improve your email writing skills. What are those ways? Write a meaningful subject line. Always remember, when you are formulating an email, subject is the most important aspect which grasps the attention of the reader of that letter. So try to write a subject which attracts the reader and creates the interest to read your letter. So see that your subject line is specific and clear. Next, keep the message focused and understanding. See that your message is focused with all sort of understanding. Don't write some other language with all type of words which are not known to the other person whom you are sending the message. See that you are using the language which the other person knows it. Next, identify yourself clearly. Try to portray yourself in your message. Try to reflect your essence through that message. Don't try to copy somebody's attitude or don't try to copy words from outside. Write what you feel. Express what you want to. Portray your personal identity. When the other person is reading your email, he should have your essence. Presence of your essence. That is, he should understand that it is you who is formulated that email to send that particular information. See that your personal behavior, attitude also is reflected in the way you are formulating your emails. Don't copy others or don't try to write while somebody has written it, you are copying it. No. Try to write in the meaningful sentences and try to portray yourself in that message. Use official IDs for business related or professional emails. You will use the IDs which are created in your workspace. Don't use personal IDs to cater the needs of your professional needs. You should follow the rules and regulations of the organizations. You should abide by the rules of the organization and use the professional IDs, official IDs which are given by your organization. Don't use your personal emails for the purpose of your professional needs. Use short sentences for clear convey of the message. Don't use complex sentences. Try to use simple sentences with simple formal language. Be clear and accurate in transferring the message to the other people. So these are all the rules and regulations which will make your email effective. Try to understand the nature of the email, the purpose of the email, of what you are writing. Try to write the subject line with all the effectiveness in it, but being it very simple. Try to address them with a greeting, with a proper introduction, with a proper explanation of the element what you are mentioning in that particular email, and then end up with your signature and with the proper conclusion. So these are all the important things which we are going to follow. Then organize the content of the mail in a logical and systematic manner. This is very important aspect. See that all the elements which you are addressing must be in a logical order. They should not be in a clumsy order. Be kind. Always try to be pleasing. Always try to request. So whatever, maybe it is a complaint, maybe you are angry, but don't try to portray your anger through that mail. Try to generate that message in such a way that the other person feels your pain. But your anger does not make him feel the pain. The way you write the words, the way you formulate the words will impress the other person. Then don't lose your focus. Don't talk about other things. If you are focusing in one point, try to clear with that point. Try to tell that point. Don't go out of the box and tell something or the other which is not relevant to that particular topic. Try to be specific and try to confine yourself and try to precise your email to that one particular element. Then use separate paragraph for stating different points. If you have 2 or 3 points, if you have 4 and 5 points, stick 1 point to one paragraph. Don't use all the points in one paragraph, or don't use so many paragraphs to tell about only one point. Don't do that. If you are having 1 point, try to be specific and complete in one paragraph. If you are having 2 points, for each paragraph, take 1 point and resolve it. So, you are going to follow that order in specifying your points. Then, use proper, simple, polite and clear language. You are going to use proper, simple, polite and clear language through your message. Then, show respect and restraint. Show respect and restraint. That is, you have to be very respectful towards others when you generate the sentences or convey the message through the emails. Then, find the proofread. After, make sure the message is complete and then proofread. So, don't end up your message incompletely. Try to complete the message with proper introduction, clear explanation and conclusion. And then after completing it, proofread. Reread all the sentences what you have written, because within a click it will be delivered to the other person. If there are some mistakes, you cannot change it and you may be placing in a danger zone. So always when you send an email, try to proofread, reread it once again and then send it. Next, find the difference between formal and informal situation. Don't write informally in the workspace. Don't address them as whatever you want, and don't leave that subject line and just attach the files and send to the other person. Try to be very formal. Try to understand the relevance of being formal in the workspace. Try to differentiate between the formal elements and the informal elements while addressing an email to the other person. Next, respond promptly. If you are receiving messages, respond promptly. If you are sending messages, try to see that the other person reads your email and replies it back. Then, significance of email. What is the significance of an email? What is the true nature? How is that it is very helpful to us? And what is its importance in today's scenario? Be sure an email is necessary. Understand that in today's generation, in the fast-paced global market, you are going to develop communication through emails. So, try to understand, practice and make your language more effective while sending your messages. Use separate business and personal email IDs. Don't connect your personal ID to business frames and business ID to personal frames. Segregate. Have that difference. You should use business IDs for professional needs. You should use personal IDs for personal needs. See that there is a difference and that segregation. If not, your life will become clumsy. If you are using this for here, that for there, then it will be a complicated issue. You cannot grow up and it looks very clumsier and it will have a very bad impression over others. Be clear, brief and polite. Use short sentences and simple sentences. Use a spell checker. Very important thing. See that all your spellings are correct. If you do not know, try to use a spell checker such that there are no mistakes happening in the email. Read your email personally before sending it. This is very, very important. Before you send an email, try to proofread it. Try to reread it, such that if there are any mistakes, if you have used any word which will offend the other person, you can correct it. Because within fraction of seconds, it will be sent to the other person. So, if you are sending a mail with so many mistakes and sentence formation wrong and all the structure of the email is wrong, then what kind of notion the other person will generate on you? Obviously, they'll have an negative impression. So, see that all these mistakes are not committed and see that you follow proper rules, regulations and the structure in formulating the emails. Use an appropriate closing for every entity, for any kind of thing. You must end up with proper conclusion and a closing note. So, these are all very important. Then, the following are the usual formal complementary close phrases used in emails. Now, let us see what are the phrases we usually come across in emails. With regards, yours truly, regards. These are the three things we generally come across. You can use them. Then, informal, we can use yours. When you are writing your informal, you can write yours and your name. But when you are in a formal platform, business workspace, you are going to use with regards, your truly or regards. Next, what are the things you can do while writing an email? What are the do's? Use informative subject line. Your subject must provide information. Next, write most important information first. The important information which you want to send instantly and receive reply to it, mention it in the first two lines such that it is addressed soon. Use number and bullet marks to make the message clearer. You can use bullet marks also so that your message looks more clearer and accurate to the other readers. Use simple grammar and language. Write short sentences. Use separate paragraphs. So, these are all the things we have already discussed and you have to follow them. Now, what are the don'ts? What is that you're not supposed to do while formulating an email? That is, write about relevant issues. Write only about relevant issues, not more than that. You will not go out of the box. Then, give personal information that you do not want someone. So, never ever try to give personal information, especially when you are in the workspace. Try to address them professionally. Try to ask and cater the needs of professional entities. You will not go and ask for personal details, or you will not give your personal details to the other people. Then, next. Write all the words in capital letters as it is considering shouting. Never use capital letters all the time in the email. That will make you look very clumsier and it will look as if you are angry or you are shouting at the other person. Next, use different fonts. Stick to one font style. One line in Times New Roman, one line in Calibri, one line in some other fonts. No. Use one font style. You will not use different font styles for different paragraphs. It will look very odd and dirty. Next, use italics. Don't use italics in between while formulating your emails. Next, use exclamation marks. Use incomprehensible abbreviation, acronyms. All these are don'ts. You will not follow any of these things while writing the email. So, then general rules for personal emails. Be polite. Greeting, you should try to follow while writing email is you have to greet the person, whoever it may be. It is informal or formal. Closings must be very specific and significant, and casualness. Be simple. Be specific. So, these are the important elements. Then, general rules for formal emails. Politeness again, formality, clarity, greetings, closings, samples. These are all the very important rules for the formal emails. You will have to write in with polite tone. You must be formal. Be clarity towards your information or the message what you're providing. Greet them. Close on the authentic and accurate note and have the samples or the evidences by providing the proofs to generate that message effective. So, these are all the ways how you are going to compose your formal or informal emails. This is the very, very important aspect which you all have to practice while writing your emails. Try to write with proper format and structure your emails with simple, clear and accurate word formation, and try to render specific information on a very clear note with proper format. So, this is the way you are going to compose your emails. Thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.